Hi there, this is a professional Adobe Photoshop course and you can learn lots of things from this course. And if you want to be a graphics designer, then this course will help you a lot. You can learn from this course about selection and masking, business card design, logo design, t-shirt design, mug design, bottle print design, CV design, calendar design, mock-up, cover design, retouching, advanced use of tools in Photoshop. So start watching and happy learning. Hi there, in this tutorial we will learn how to remove fence from a dog image. I hope you will love to learn this entire process. So let's take a look how you will remove fence from a dog image. You must download our exercise file and which is given in our previous section, and we have to open our exercise file. So let's open our exercise file from file menu. Here's the file menu and we have to go for open option. So let me select this open option. Here is our exercise file and we have to open this selection and masking folder. Okay. So here is an image named dog and fence. We have to select this dog and fence image and we have to select open option. So let me click open option and here is the image. And right now we will remove this entire fence, from this image, and that will be really awesome. So let's learn how we will remove this fence from this image. At first we have to create a new layer in our layer panel. So this is our layer panels and we have to create a new layer. To create a new layer you just have to click this plus sign. Here is the plus icon. You just have to click on here and you can take a look. A new layer is created and I want to rename this layer, and therefore you just have to double click on here with your mouse left button and let me write a name, brush selection. Okay, so you just have to press enter button from your keyboard, and right now we will use the brush tool. And before using brush tool, please make sure this brush selection layer is selected. So here is our brush tool, and if you were unable to find this brush tool on your tool panels, in that case you just have to come on here. Here is the three dot signs and you just have to right click with your mouse and you will get this edit toolbar option. So let me show you. I am selecting this edit toolbar option and you will have entire tool list on here and you just have to pick it up from your desired tools. So let me close this tab, and I believe you already have the brush tools on here. So here is the brush tools. Okay, so we have to select this entire fences with our brush. So therefore I want to increase the brush size. So here is the option, and let me show you. You have to increase the size of brush for 25 pixel. Okay, here is the 25 pixel and we will use the 100% hardness. So let me increase the hardness for 100%. And please make sure you are using hard round brushes. So here is the hard round brushes. Okay, so right now we will select these fences with our brushes. So let me zoom in this image, and therefore you have to go in view menu, and here is the zoom in option, or you can use the shortcut from your keyboard. Here is the shortcut key, control and plus signs. So let me select this zoom in option. Okay, so right now we will select the fences with brushes. So let me select the brush in here, and you can take a look, a black dot showing on here, and we will select this entire fences, and therefore you just have to press shift button in your keyboard, and I will select the brush pointer on here, and you can take a look, this entire brushes is selected. Please make sure your shift button is pressed on your keyboard. And right now I will come in here and let me select here once again. Okay, so you just have to select these fences with this brush tools. Maybe it will take a little more time, but that will be really effective. So let me select this entire fences with the brush tools, and please make sure every point is selected. I mean every part of fence is selected with the brush tools. So let me select the entire fences in here. So you can take a look, entire fences is selected with our brush tools, and right now we will select this background layer. So let me select this background layer, and I want to turn off this layer. So let me turn off this layer, and you just have to press control button on your keyboard, and you just have to click on here. Here is the thumbnail of brush selection layer. So you just have to click your mouse by, you have to hold the control button on your keyboard. So you just have to press the control button and click with your mouse on this thumbnail. So now you can take a look, the entire fence is selected. You can take a look, and right now we will select this edit menu. So here is the edit menu, and we will use this content error fill option. So if you use the latest version of Photoshop software, then you will get this content error fill option in here, or if you using older version, in that case you will get the content error fill in this fill option. So I'm using the latest version of Photoshop software, so here is the content error fill. I am selecting this content error fill option. You can take a look, the content error fill options is appeared with a new tab, and it's working on here. And here is the magic. You can take a look, entire fences is gone. So before clicking OK, you have to make sure your output setting with the new layer. You don't have to select current layer, or you don't have to use this duplicate layer. Please make sure your output selection, I mean your output setting with the new layer. And right now I will click the OK option, and you can take a look, a new layer is created, and it seems the brush selection is still selected, and I want to deselect this brush selection, and therefore you have to press Ctrl and D button. So here is the Ctrl and D button, and you can take a look, the selection is gone, and along with the selection the fences is gone. So this is called the magic of Photoshop. You can take a look, the background of this image is blur, and we have the clear view of grasses, and if you want to make this image more attractive, then you can add a vibrance in here. In that case, this image will look more attractive. To use a vibrance, we have to select these grasses, and therefore we have to use quick selection tool. So before using quick selection tool, please make sure your background layer is selected. I mean, this image is selected, and right now we will use the quick selection tool. So we have to click here this magic wand tool, and you just have to right click in your mouse right button, and then you will get this quick selection tool. So here is the quick selection tool, and let me increase the size of this quick selection tool. So here is the settings. I want to increase the size for 150 pixel. Okay, good. And make sure the hardness is 100%. So right now we will select the grasses with our quick selection tool, and one of things that is here is two signs. Please make sure this add selection tool, I mean the plus signs, is selected. So let's select these grasses. Okay, so I think some blur background got selected, and we have to reduce. To reduce this extra selection, we have to use this minus, I mean subtract tools. So here is the tools, and let me click in here, and you can take a look. The excess selection is gone. So right now we will use the vibrance tool. So here is the adjustment panel, and you have to click this triangle sign. So here is the triangle sign. You just have to click on here, and you will get this vibrance and saturation setting. So I just want to increase the vibrance a little bit more, and you can take a look. The color of grass is changing. Okay, now it looks much better. Okay, looks really awesome. And right now we will delete this brush selection layer. So you just have to select this brush selection layer, and here is the delete sign. You just have to click this delete sign. You can take a look. That brush selection layer is gone, and we will create a smart object, and therefore we want to make a smart object with this vibrance layer, with this background layer, and therefore we have to select these two layers. You just have to press Ctrl button in your keyboard. Along with this vibrance one, you can take a look. These two layers are selected, and then you just have to right click on here, and you will get this convert to smart object option. So I'm selecting convert to smart object, and you can take a look. These layers are converted into smart object, and if you want to rename this layer, you just have to double click on here. Let me write image and vibrance. Image and vibrance. Okay, cool. So this is the tutorial how you will remove the fence from this dog image, and I really love this content hour tool in Photoshop, and this is the fantastic part of Photoshop. And I will request you please try minimum 3 or 4 times by removing this fence from this dog image. Then you will have a clear concept about it. So see you in next lesson. Bye bye. Hi there, in this tutorial we will learn how to add an Iceland inside a rounded glass bottle, and that is really an amazing thing, and I hope and believe that you will love to learn this entire process. So let's take a look at how you will place an Iceland inside a rounded glass bottle. So we have to open our exercise file. So therefore I am clicking on this file menu, and from there we will go for open option. So this is our exercise file, and we have to open our selection and masking folder, and inside the selection and masking folder you will get this rounded glass bottle image. So you just have to select this rounded glass bottle image, and then you just have to click open. So here is our rounded glass bottle image, and we will place an Iceland inside in here. I mean inside this bottle. We will not place only the Iceland. We will add a sky, we will add an underwater image inside this bottle, and that will be really mind-blowing. So at first we will add our Iceland image in here. So therefore we have to open our exercise file once again. So let me go for file menu, and here is the open option. And inside the selection and masking folder you will get this Iceland image. You just have to select this Iceland image, and then you just have to click open. So here is the Iceland image, and we will not take this entire image on our rounded glass bottle. We will take only this Iceland part from here. So therefore we have to use a quick selection tool in here. To use quick selection tool, we have to right click with our mouse in this magic wand tool option. So you just have to right click with your mouse in magic wand tool, then you will get this quick selection tool on there. So let me select this quick selection tool, and I want to select this entire Iceland with the quick selection tool, but in that case I have to increase my quick selection pointer. So here is the option. Let me increase for 100 or 30 pixel, and make sure the hardness is 100%. So right now we will select this Iceland with the quick selection tool. As I told you before that we will not select the water, we will not select the sky from this image. We will take only this Iceland part. So let me select this entire Iceland. Okay, cool. You can take a look, our entire Iceland got selected, and we have to add a layer mask in here. So therefore you just have to click in here. Here's the layer mask option. You just have to click in this icon, and you can take a look. We got our Iceland part in here, and we will use this Iceland inside our rounded bottle. So therefore we have to move this Iceland to our rounded glass bottle image. Therefore we have to use this move tool. So here is the move tool. Let me select this move tool, and then we will drag and drop this image on our rounded glass bottle. So you just have to drag. Let me open this rounded glass bottle, and let me drop in here. So we have to scale it, this image, and therefore you just have to press Ctrl and T button. Those who were using Windows, you have to press Ctrl and T button to scale, and those who were using Mac, then you have to press Command and T button. So just press, I'm using Windows, so let me press Ctrl and T button, and let me zoom out this image. So therefore we have to click this view menu, and from there we will go for zoom out, and we have to zoom out once again. So let me click view menu once again, and here is the zoom out option. Okay, so let me scale this image properly. Okay, looks good. Now we can zoom in this image. So let's get to view menu, and here is a zoom in option. Once again, view to zoom in, or you can use control and plus button to zoom in. Okay, looks good. But right now we will add a sky in here. I mean, in here we will not keep this part empty, we will add a sky. So therefore we have to open our sky image. So let's open the sky image from our exercise file. Here is the file menu, open option, and here is the sky image. You just have to click this sky image and then you have to click open option. So we will use this sky image on there, therefore we have to unlock this layer. So let me unlock this layer from this layer panel. You can take a look, here is the lock icon. You just have to click on here and you can take a look, this layer got unlocked. And with the move tool we will drag and drop this sky image on our rounded glass bottle. So let's drag and drop, drag, and let's drop in here. Okay, you can take a look, it seems quite bigger than our rounded glass bottle image, so we have to scale it properly. So let's zoom out this image, therefore you have to press Ctrl and minus button. Or those who you were using Mac, you just have to press Command and minus button to zoom out. And right now to scale this sky image I have to press Ctrl and T button. So let me press Ctrl and T button and let me zoom out once again. Okay, so let me scale this image properly. Okay, looks good. Let me press enter button, or you can click on this tick mark on here, so you can do anyone else. So let me click on this tick mark and now I will zoom in this image. So therefore I have to press Ctrl and plus button in my keyboard. You can take a look, with the sky our Iceland got masked, so therefore we have to place this layer under the Iceland layer. So you just have to drag and drop and place under the Iceland layer. You can take a look, now it really looks good, but this sky is not shaped with our glass bottle size, and we will do this part right now. Okay, so I want to rename this layer name at first, then we will do the rest of part. So you just have to double click on here and let me write sky. You can take a look, the layer name got changed, and I want to turn off these two layers. So let me turn off these two layers, and I want to select this bottle image. I want to select this background layer. Please make sure this background layer is selected. And right now we will use the quick selection tool. So here is the quick selection tool, and we will select this entire bottle. So let's select this entire bottle. You can take a look, this bottle is selected, but the entire part of this bottle not get selected properly, and therefore we will use quick mask mode to ensure our entire selection. So here is the quick mask mode. Let me click on here and you can take a look, our here and here this part of bottle not get selected properly. So we will select this two part, and let me turn off the quick mode view, and I want to select in here. Okay, I think some extra part get selected, and therefore I have to use this subtract. Here is the subtract selection tool, and let me decrease the brush size from here. Okay, and let me select in here. Okay, looks good. And right now I will select this entire part. So let me select with this plus sign. So here is the two sign. If you use the plus signs, and that will add the selection, and if you use the minus sign, that will subtract the selection. So I have to add this part. So let me select this part with the quick selection tool, and let me zoom in the image. Our entire bottle is selected, and we will save this selection. So therefore we have to use this select menu. So let me click on here, and we will use this save selection option, and you have to write a name as, and it will open in later in this channel. So therefore let me write bottle, and let me click OK. As we selected this bottle and we saved the selection, and right now we can deselect this bottle. So therefore you just have to press Ctrl and D button from your keyboard, and you can take a look, our bottle got deselected. So right now I want to turn on these two layers, this Iceland layers and this sky layers. So let me turn on the both layers. Okay, you can take a look, our both layers got enabled, and right now you have to select these sky layers. Please make sure your sky layer is selected, and we will shape this sky with our bottle. So therefore you have to select this sky layer, and now we will go for select menu, and from there we will click this load selection. So let me click this load selection, and from channel we have to click in channel, and we will get our bottle name in here. So here is our bottle name, and this is the selected part we saved in before, and here is the bottle is selected for channel, and now you have to click OK. You can take a look, this bottle part got selected, and right now we will add a layer mask. And before that, please make sure this sky layer is selected, and we will add a layer mask. So here is the option for layer mask. You just have to click it on here, and you can take a look, this sky got shaped with the bottle, and that's really amazing. And right now we will work with this empty lower part, and we will add an underwater image in here. So therefore we have to open our exercise file. So let's click the file menu, we will go for open option, and here is our underwater file, and we will open this image. So you just have to select this image, and let's click on open. So here is our underwater image, and we have to unlock this layer. So you just have to click on here, you just have to click on this lock icon, and you can take a look. Right now this layer is unlocked. So we will drag and drop this image as like before. Therefore we have to select this move tool, and let's drag and drop this image on a rounded glass bottle. So let me drag, and I want to place it on here, and it seems the underwater image size is quite bigger. There I have to scale it, this image, and let me zoom out with Ctrl and minus button, and right now I will press Ctrl and T button to scale it properly. So let's scale this image properly. Okay, right now I will zoom in this image. Okay, looks good. So I'm pressing enter button in my keyboard, and right now you just have to click this layer image and I want to rename this layer, as because we got already 3 new layers and it will make some complication in later to understand. So therefore I want to rename this layer. You just have to double click on here and let me write underwater. Water. Okay, so please make sure this underwater layer is selected, and then we have to click select menu once again and we have to go for load selection option, and we will use the same channel. We will use this bottle channel. So here is the bottle channel and you just have to click OK. You can take a look, this bottle part got selected, and now we have to add a layer mask in this underwater layer. So you just have to click in here this layer mask to add a new layer mask. Let me click in here and you can take a look. Our underwater image got shaped with this bottle, and this is really amazing. We already added a new Iceland in here, a new sky image and the underwater image. That is really mind-blowing. So before finish this tutorial, I want to convert these all layers into smart object. So at first I want to select this Iceland layer and you just have to right click on here, then you will get this convert to smart object option. So let me click this convert to smart object and I want to rename this layer name, as because this is my Iceland layer, so therefore I want to write Iceland. Okay, so let me convert this second underwater layer into smart object. You just have to right click on here, convert to smart object, and finally I will convert this sky layer into smart object. Okay, now it really looks good, and this is how you will add an Iceland inside a rounded glass bottle. We added an Iceland, a sky, and an underwater image. So I will request you please try minimum 3 or 4 times, and if you have any question about this tutorial, then you can write in our comment box. So see you in next lesson. Hi there, in this tutorial we will learn how to make background blur. Nowadays it's a trend to create a blur background image, and in this tutorial you will learn the entire process. So let's take a look how you will make your image background blur. At first we have to open our exercise file. So here is the file menu and we will go for open option. Here is our exercise file. Inside selection and masking folder we will open this Max Illinois Wise Unsplash image. So you just have to select this image and then click on open. Okay, here is our image. We will make this background blur and we will keep this woman transparent. And if you take a look in this image, then you can have a look that this woman or this subject is clearly visualized. So it will help us to select this subject, and Adobe Photoshop have an amazing technology for image, that is subject selection tool, and we will use it. But before using our subject selection tool, we have to duplicate this layer. So here is the layer in our layer panels. We have to duplicate this layer, and therefore you have to right click on your mouse and then you will get this duplicate layer option. So I'm selecting this duplicate layer option and we will write this layer name as a subject, and I'm selecting OK. So you can take a look, a new layer is created, and please make sure this subject layer is selected. And right now we will select this entire subject, and therefore we have to click this select menu, and from there we will go for subject option. Okay, you can take a look. our entire subject got selected. Actually, this subject selection tool specially using for a human's image, and that's really works nice with the human image. And you can take a look, this woman got selected properly with the subject selection tool. And right now we have to add a layer mask. So here is the layer mask option inside our layer panels. You have to click on this add a layer mask option, and you can take a look, a new layer is added on here. And right now we will convert this layer into a smart filter. So let's do that. To convert this layer into a smart filter, we have to click this filter menu, and from there we will go for convert for smart filters option. So you just have to select it and you just have to click OK, and you can take a look, our layers got converted into a smart filter. So right now we will make this entire background blur, and therefore we have to select this background layer. So please make sure this background layer is selected, and we will go for filter menu, and from there we will select this blur option. So you can take a look, number of blur modes are available, but we will select this Gaussian blur option. So you have to select this Gaussian blur option. So here is the tab for Gaussian blur, and to make this background blur we have to increase the radius. So let's increase the radius, and please take a look on here. Right now it's 3.6 pixels. I want to increase more. Right now it's 8 pixel. Oops, it's got 52 pixels, and you can take a look, this entire background got blur. But we will not put the radius for 52 pixel. I think 20 pixel will be better. 29. Okay, 20.8 pixels, and you can take a look, now it really looks good. But if you want to make more blur, then you just have to increase the radius of Gaussian blur, and I'm selecting OK. So here is the method that how you will make this image blur, I mean this background blur. And this is a simple way to make your background blur because you got the subject selected. And right now we will learn another method that how you will make a background blur with a taxi. And as I told you before, that subject selection tool actually works good with humans image, but right now we will work with the taxi image, and that will be a little different. So let's do that. Let me close this tab. I don't want to save this, and we have to open our exercise file. So here is the file menu, here is the open option, and we will open this Matthew Hamilton unsplash image. You can take a look, a yellow taxi image, and you just have to select this Matthew Hamilton unsplash image from our selection and masking folder, and you just have to click open. So this is our image, and you can take a look. In this image you will not able to find any clear subject. So if we select this image with subject selection tools, then how it's look like, let's check. So here is the select menu, and here is the subject option. So you can take a look, after using the subject selection tools in Photoshop, this entire taxi cabs got selected and it's not selected properly. So as I told you before, that subject selection method actually works well with the human's image, and in this image we will not use the subject selection tool, we will use the quick selection tool. So let's deselect this selection, and therefore you have to press Ctrl D or Command D on your computer. So before using the subject selection tool, no, not a subject selection tool, before using the quick selection tool, we have to duplicate this layer. So you just have to right click on here, and here is the duplicate layer option, and we will write yellow taxi. Okay, yellow taxi, and I'm clicking OK. You can take a look, and please make sure this yellow taxi layer is selected, and we will use this quick selection tool. So here is the quick selection tool, and right now we will select this entire taxi, I mean this first taxi. Actually, my purpose is I want to keep this yellow taxi transparent, and I want to make this entire background blur. So this yellow taxi and this yellow taxi, I mean the rest of the image, rest of the part will get blur. Only this first yellow taxi remain transparent. So therefore we have to select this first yellow taxi, and therefore we are using this quick selection tool, but we will use this add selection tools. Here is two different tools. This is the subtract from selection tools, and this is the add selection tools. I mean this, you can take a look, here is a plus sign and here is a minus sign. If you use this add selection tool with the plus sign, then the image get selected, and if you want to reduce or if you want to less the selection, in that case you have to click this subtract from selection. So we have to select this entire taxi cab, therefore we are using this add selection tools. So let me increase the size. I think 142 pixels seems good, and we will select this yellow taxi only, and let's start selecting. Please make sure only this first yellow taxi got selected. We will not select the entire image, only we will select this first taxi. So you can take a look, this first yellow taxi, I mean this entire taxi got selected, and we will follow the same method. That means we have to add a layer mask. So here is the layer mask option. So you just have to click on this add a layer mask option, and you can take a look, a new layer is, I mean new layer mask is added, and we have to convert this layer into a smart filter. So here is the filter menu, and from there we will go for convert for smart filters option, and we have to select OK, and you can take a look, our layers got converted into a smart filter, and you can take a look, this icon got changed. So right now we have to select this background layer. So here is the background layer, and right now we will use the Gaussian blur filter. So therefore we have to select this filter menu, blur option, and here is the Gaussian blur option. So you just have to click this Gaussian blur option. So here is the tab. So we just have to increase the radius 3 pixels, 8 pixels, and you can take a look, this background got blur. If you want to make more blur, then you have to increase the radius 30 pixel, and I think now it really looks good. So you can take a look, this first yellow cab still transparent, and the entire background got blur. If you want to make more blur, then you just have to increase the radius. So right now the radius is 95 pixels, and this is the output. So it's depend on you how much radius you want to place on your image. So I don't want to put 95 pixel, I want to put for 45 pixel. Okay, 45 pixels looks good, and I'm selecting OK. So this is how you will make your background blur of your image, and it's quite simple. So if you have any question regarding this tutorial, you can write in our comment box, and I will request you to try to minimum 3 or 4 times by watching this tutorial. Then you will have a clear concept and you can do this easily. So see you in next lesson. Ta-da!